full, and then you reach nirvana. So that's the goal. So in this lifetime, we don't know how much we have collected in the past. So he said, like, just do your best to understand, like, what you can in this life. Don't aim for nirvana. It's something too far. And he says, you don't even know if it really exists. Just try to understand with what you can understand. Basically, it's like that. And then, like, if we're talking about the scientific form of, like, what a soul is, he said that it comes from electrons. So eventually, electrons, they evolve. Yeah. When there's movement, it creates electricity. It evolves. Yeah. When it evolves, it wants to. There's an element. I don't know, but if I were to give it an English name, I would call it like know elements, like trying to know things. It collects information. So it
like fifth element, something like that.
Yeah, from electrons. So it evolves. Now, when it evolves, it wants to collect more information. It touches something, it don't know what it is, and it keeps evolving. Eventually, the soul, it reaches like, no, eventually this element forms a soul. Basically, it creates eyes to record what it can see, ears to record the sound, mouth to record, to talk, communicate, skin to record feeling and stuff. So that's its nature, and because its nature is recording, it keeps getting like, it pulls, in Buddhism explain like fire, earth, water, basically our body, all these elements together to create the body, to record information, and it dies and it gets born again to record information. So when you learn about this thing, I ask him, wait, then what is heaven and hell in this? What is nirvana? Is there right or wrong? He says, if you learn about like the nature of soul is to collect information, then you would like, there is no right or wrong. There is no good or bad. He says good or bad, it depends. If you like it, you say it's good. Yeah. If you don't like it, you say it's bad. And for example, ISIS, ISIS right in the Middle East, he says they believe that if they suicide bomb, they're going to go to heaven. Then I ask him, do they go to heaven? He says yes, because that's what they believe. Sure. But if it's like us, you're like, oh no, but he killed people. You should go to hell. Yeah. But he said, no, it's not like that. Because the nature of a soul, it's what it's believed. If you believe that heaven looks like this, and you follow this particular rule of your religion, whatever your religion is, your soul will create heaven in that form. And hell is going to look like how you believe it is. So soul, it's like, the world, it's kind of an illusion, but the problem is we are stuck in this illusion. In that And the soul, it's not us. The soul, it just wants to like collect information, and we are just something the soul creates. So he said, what is our purpose? By purpose, he means like, in computer language, we're like a program. Our job is to protect the body. So let's say you're hungry. The soul sends signal to you, hey, you're hungry, and you'll go eat. The soul, a knife cut you, the soul sends a signal, oh, it's pain. You're like, you must find something to cover the pain. If it's hot, the soul sends signal to you, oh, it's hot. You must find something to like go to AC or stuff like that. So that's what it is. Now, the problem is, the soul, when it's collecting information, there is no end. It's infinite. So nirvana is basically, if we're explaining it scientifically, it's the highest evolution of a soul. It understands, so it doesn't need to come back like you meet, create this thing to record information, no more. But now the thing is, when he said understand everything, he doesn't mean like the soul must know everything in the world. No, he means that the soul, it understands that what it doesn't know, it's like that. Like there's a reason for it. They don't have to know it, but that's the way things is. So in Buddhism, it's like that. Now, how do you reach that point? How do you try to go to the way of nirvana? Yeah. In Buddhism, there's like the 4 things, but I don't know, there's no English word for it. But basically, your soul, it's going to keep creating emotions. And now, by nature, we all humans go according to this emotion. And if you follow these emotions, the result is you're going to keep getting reincarnated. Basically, the same loop, you over again and again and again.
Until you like make it over the emotion, yeah? Yeah. That emotion, like you just transform it, yeah? The emotion.
So he said the way to get out of this is you have to go against the current. So I give an example, like there's a river, right? If you follow the flow of the river, you're going to drown into the river. Yeah. If you swim against the current, then you will change for something better. So in Buddhism, if you go against your emotion, or basically go against your current, you will go to the path of like the end, kind of something like the end, or understanding. But if you follow your emotions, you're going to go to a path of infinite reincarnation, basically, something like that. So what does he mean by going against our emotion? For example, you like eating this food.
Sure, you have to give up.
Every day. Yeah, can you like try not eating it? Yeah, stuff like that.
What about love? Is it emotion or not? We count this as emotion or it's something different. So if it is an emotion, do we go against it?
No. Love, there's many types of love.
Yeah.
Right? Which type of love are you talking about?
Let's see between man and a woman.
Man and a woman.
There is also different kind of love between man and woman.
You see, that's the thing. This love, it's a program. It's not us, is feeling the love. We are seeing the love. It's a program the soul creates so that we humans can procreate, create more body, and the more soul goes in. It's a program. It's not us. So we have to go against it. That's why in monk, they cannot have a wife. They cannot have sex, stuff like that. It's to go against this current, to end this. If you follow this current, it goes on forever. But now the problem with this is many, like the non-monks, the civilian, they try to behave like that. Like, oh, if the monk says, don't love to go to nirvana, then they don't love. But he said that's not the case. If you're a monk, yes, you should behave this way. But if you're like a civilian, a normal person, there's a different set of Dhamma for you. Not necessarily you have to follow the path like no wife, no money, no house, emptiness, not like that.
Sure, it doesn't work. You're in society,
it's a different thing. So it depends on what you want, But then he has like Dhamma for like basic people, like living.
Wow. Okay, and
they're
working, he's talking, yeah? They mean that?
It's okay, yes, you can ask.
Не, он не про это говорил. Говорил, что не обязательно жить как монах, если ты в обычной жизни. Да.
Типа нет дома, нет ничего, да, такое не бывает. Надо жить типа хорошо, и тогда ты больше можешь тоже.
So the gain is to get out from samsara, right? To stop that wheel, right? Is it possible to... Let me just think how to ask it. It's not easy to translate it in English, right? Because actually, I learned Buddhism not in English language. Yeah, in my language, in Ukrainian, Russian language. So it's like the terminology also, I don't know everything to translate. Yes, I will try to. What else? Last time when I asked the Guru to help me with the meditation, he said, no meditation for you, just think about everything is illusion. But, it's supposed to be like a type of meditation which helps to...
The thing with meditation is, listen, in Buddhism, there's like 40 types.
Yeah, right? I heard,
11 is about focusing. Like looking at your breath in or focusing on light. The warmth, anything focused. Or thinking. Thinking is the other 39 or 29. That's also focusing. That's also a type of meditation. But both the focus part, you get something, we call it jeto. The thinking part, you get something, basically it's panya, which is knowledge. You have to, the soul must understand these two parts in order to basically reach nirvana. But it's nearly impossible in one lifetime. If we're talking about like this fantasy thing, it takes trillions of reincarnations. So, yeah. But meditation, you said, do what you think it's like.
What I feel.
Do you like focusing or do you like thinking more?
Actually, I don't like focusing. I don't like thinking. I don't like not to think. Like I just count my breath, and sometimes you get this strange, I don't know how to explain, strange being, like you hear voices or something like this. like, and you don't understand where it come from. Like, it's like from different sides. And like from this moment, I cannot like make any decisions or understand what's going on because I practice meditation less than in a year. So it's not enough to understand what's going on. I'm just like learning, what is meditation. That's why at the moment it's not easy to say what's going on with me, but I actually practice that kind when you don't think, but you just count your breath. And I read a lot, like a lot of different visions of different.
You meditate and you hear things, right?
Sorry?
You meditate and you hear things.
It's not like hear, but you don't hear with your ears. You hear with something else. Yeah, like different like parts of different speech. It's not even voices, you know. It's just like kind of information. And what I was afraid of, it's not like afraid. Like sometimes it happens with me when I fall asleep. For example, sometimes I just fall asleep, and between this dream and awareness, like when you don't sleep, there is this theta feeling, like your brain is not sleeping yet. So I get some visions, and I don't understand what is that. Like, what is the visions? Like, once I was feeling like I'm losing my body, like I was truly feeling it, like something is happening with my, I don't know, is it soul or not, but it's here in this place. I was feeling like I'm just get rid of my body. I don't know how to explain. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but okay, I want to feel it. So it happens with me several times, like 2 times. And one time I was just fasting, and I woke up and I just sat for meditation. I was sitting and I was just concentrating on something I don't remember, but I didn't close the eyes. And I was not counting, just sitting and concentrating my vision, And I saw my hands with the light, and I was like, am I going crazy? Like, I was like really scared, you know. I was like, oh my gosh. And it's not like you're scared, it's more like you feel something deep in love. I don't know how to explain, but I was just sitting, and then suddenly I saw light, even like in
With
my
your eyes closed?
no,
with your eyes
open. Yeah. And I was seeing the light, like I was watching there, and I was sitting and just concentrate my vision on my palm, and I was like, is it light or not? And it was like it didn't look like illusion, you know. It was obvious, like light when you turn on in a dark room. So I was meditating like for 5 minutes, and I started seeing that. But in the flat, I was not alone, and there's somebody, and she opened the window and blah blah blah. So I stopped the meditation, and then everything were gone. So I didn't understand what is that, like how to accept it, or I just stopped thinking about, you know, because
a lot of people, they see things when they meditate, they hear things, and a lot of them go crazy.
Yeah, I know. That's why, you know, I don't want to lose this. I don't want to go in this fantasy,
I know.
because it's easy to, I don't know, to lost everything and lost society and lost in all the world. So that's why I just like keep calm and ask you, what can you tell about
Before we talk about this, you have to understand something about the soul. You know, the world we live in, even the things we see right now, it exists because
We see.
we exist,
Yeah,
right? We
Yeah.
see.
sure.
Because we have eyes, we see it. We have ears, we hear the world. We have skin, we can feel the world.
Yeah,
If we don't have eyes, then these things don't exist. We
Yeah.
don't have skin, we don't feel it. We don't have ears, we don't hear the world. If one were to ask you, who created this world? What would you say? You did.
sure. I'm not even sure. Sorry for interrupting. I'm not even sure everything exists because maybe it's my illusion. Maybe it's everything, even you, in my
Mhm.
brain,
Mhm.
in my mind, right? So I'm not sure. I cannot be sure.
I asked him these questions as well.
And what did he say?
Is that in a sense, we wouldn't exactly use the word illusion, but it's something that the soul creates.
Mhm.
Let's say, for example, you see this rock, right? But what I'm looking at as well, I might see it as something else, and you
Sure.
see it as something else.
Sure.
It's similar to when you look at the cloud, you know, some people see a dragon, some
Yeah,
see a chicken.
yeah.
It's similar concept
Yeah.
in a way. So if you understand these things, you would know that you're the one who created this world. You know, I see your face. The way she sees your face might be different.
Different. Yeah.
Your red might be my green. You know, that's why some people see this, oh, this guy's handsome, this guy's not handsome for me. Because
Yeah.
they have different, you see
Vision.
different things. So when it comes to meditation, it's a similar concept. It's something the soul creates. And it could create anything.
Sure.
When you start to meditate. Because when you meditate, basically the soul, you know, it connects with your eyes, your ears, your body to scan information basically. Now when you meditate, it lowers its focus. When it starts lowering its focus, it depends on, everyone is different, but it starts to create like some illusions. Basically, it's kind of like dreaming, but you're awake at the same time. And then you see things, and some people go crazy. And some people think, oh, I can see the future, I can talk to God. Because, you know, you've heard
Sure.
stories of people
Yeah.
dying, they come back to life, and oh, I saw Jesus, I saw heaven, I saw hell.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a similar thing. So in Buddhism, like Ajahn would say, is you have to come back to focus on your breath, or something that we have something called vitok, vichara. Vitok is like something you put up, let's say your breath, then you must keep focusing on it, whatever you see, whatever you hear, you have to bring back to it, and these things will disappear. But the problem with a lot of monks, even they see oh, and then they focus on that, and they go,
Yeah.
and some end up in the mental hospital because they don't understand this is something the soul creates. It's not real. It's not real. Even if you see it with your own eyes, it's not real. Because if it's real, why don't I see it too? Or even if you see it too, it's very hard to explain this.
Yeah.
But the
I
soul,
understand.
it has this wave, basically wave, it can create things. So in Buddhism, we have to come back and focus on meditation, whatever
Happens.
your focus is. If you focus, you pick breath as your starting goal, you have to come back to it. Eventually your soul will get smaller. The focus will get smaller. These things will disappear. Then you'll go into a different state of meditation, and that's more complicated. Yeah. There's many layers. But even if you reach that, some people get stuck in that like empty. They don't feel the body. It's a trance-like state of mind.
Wow.
But when it's like a dream-like state, when you come back to it, you won't know you were in that state until you're awake again.
Yeah.
So what you can do is basically you have to, when you know, you say, oh, I'm awake. Okay, go back to your breath.
Breathing. Yeah.
It's basically telling the soul, no, I don't want this. I don't want to enter this trance-like state. I want to focus on this breath. So it's going to go back to the trance-like state again, then come back here again. But eventually, it's going to stop, getting slower. And it will not go into like that state again. And
you will move deeper.
Mm-hmm. So in Buddhism, there's like 4 stages. The deepest one, you will know when you reach it, but it's nearly impossible. It's very, very hard. It takes a lifetime, many reincarnations to reach that stage. But yeah, that's the focus of Buddhism. We come back to our breath. But other religions like the Brahmins or Hindu, they exist before Buddhism. They get stuck in these things and they see things. Which of the things they see, sometimes it's kind of real, sometimes it's not. Like you can see the future, the past, heaven, hell. Like it's basically something the soul creates. Just like I told you, I see this rock, but you might see a different thing. So the soul creates everything. So if you get trapped in the things the soul create, you'll be stuck forever. you know. And then you're born again, you meditate again, you see the same thing, you go crazy again, you die, you meditate. You'll be stuck in the same loop. So, you know, he explained the soul, it's like a program, it's like a game. For example, if you commit suicide, if you're born again, you will commit suicide again. If you're in a religious perspective in Buddhism, it's like, oh, it's a sin. But it's not actually like that. It's more like the soul, it cannot find a solution. You know, from depression, from pressure, from society, you commit suicide. So when you're born again, the soul, it's going to create this exam again until you pass the exam. If you fail, you commit suicide. If you pass, you go to the next level. It's like a game, basically. Because the soul, it's not us. It just wants to record information. There is no right or wrong. It's infinite. Your job is to stop it, you know. But how we stop it, that's why we have to listen to the Buddha, because it's very complicated. Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I've read a lot about it, but you explained perfectly. Thanks a lot. Seriously, thanks a lot for that. Wow. Yeah, you were right. She said, you will help me. Yeah, we were coming here and she said, there is one monk in Spain. He will help you.
One question I would like to know. What is touch your heart before you became the monk?
Yeah. Coming from, like, let's say, I'm Thai by look, but I'm not really Thai because I don't grow here, right? I lived there since I was like 2 years old, and I was raised in in my school. It's an international school. There's hundreds of like nationalities, religion. So these things, it's not really, I'm not like Buddhism in the way that a lot of people is Buddhism, you know, like religious or believing in things like that. But I just like live a normal life. But then one day I'm like, you know, what's the meaning of life?
Yeah.
You know? And then when I see him, oh, it's the way he explains things, it's different. It's not like, let's say, I've met monks before. They explain religion in the form of like fantasy. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, sure.
Fantasy, religious, cult thingy. But he explains it in a scientific way, in a way that I can understand it. I'm like, that's what made me want to become a monk, to learn more about these things.
Sorry, how old are you when you got that questions in your heart?
When I wanted
How old are
about
you?
the world,
Yes.
like
About
14,
what is life?
14, 15.
14, 15.
Yeah.
And now you became the monk just last year, as I remember. How
No,
many
this
months?
February,
February.
3 months ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. When Mutita.
Yeah.
Right. So.
There was more reasons I became a monk. I mean, you know, person is a monk. It's like, if we talk to him, in our past lives we were a monk before, right? And we did not pass these exams in a way. So the soul records this information, and it's like, oh, you have to be a monk this lifetime. But in another sense, it's not me who wants to become a monk, but it's the soul that creates this emotion. Hey, I want to be a monk. And then we just go, it's basically fate or karma in that way. It's like that as well.
It's the same as I feel, you know, like I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
But originally, I don't believe in Christianism. Like my principles are more close to Buddhism, and like everybody asks why. Like we have our religion and a lot of like to learn, yeah. But for me, I cannot even explain why I choose Buddhism and all this, you know, like people go to enjoy on islands, but I come here. You understand what I mean? Yeah. I cannot even understand why. It's not like I know I need it. I feel I need it. Mm-hmm. So it's just like the soul knows for me, yeah, as you say, the soul knows.
In your past life, you were on this path, so it wants to find answers to life.
Sure. Yeah. It's like in my head, I have to find the answers. Like otherwise, I don't know. I won't survive. Yeah, I won't reach.
In Buddhism, don't make the goal too high. Like I have to reach nirvana. You know.
This is actually, yeah, I can do it. I can just like, you know, I have to be there and there. No, I have to be step by step.
Yeah, step by step. Because if a lot of people want, I want to go nirvana, but they're the amount of reincarnation that their soul have collected, it's not enough. And no matter how hard you try in this life, you're not going to reach it. But Ajahn said, can you be happy with what you have, with how much knowledge you can gain this life, and just live life like normal.
So you have chosen to stay here with the Ajahn, like, for the lifetime, right? Or
we don't say lifetime like that, because a lot of people like, I'm going to be a monk forever. 3 months later, bye-bye. So I would say like day by day.
Sure.
Day by day.
Okay.
So actually, all the knowledge we have, we listen to Ajahn, we listen to everybody, and read a lot of books. Finally, the right way to live in this world, like civilian people, is it enough if we stay consciousness? Is it enough?
To be conscious of yourself?
To be consciousness, it means มีสติรู้ตัวทั่วพร้อมในการทำกิจกรรมสารพัดสิ่งอยู่บนโลกนี้
For people, yes. That's why Ajahn teaches us like to focus on our body, at least every 30 minutes a day, because what that's going to happen is that when you reach, like, how do you say it? When you keep doing it again and again, you're going to have a state of a mind similar to like, you will know what you're going to say before you say it. You will know what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So if you reach this point, the good thing is, if you're going to say bad things about him, hey, you will see yourself, and you will stop yourself from saying the bad things. And this will help you live in this world more happily or more peaceful with everyone. These are...
That's so clever.
I have seen many veterinarians. Nowadays, we have seen the clip, in the video. For example, like Guru, I make an example. You listen to him also there? That Guru.
So, no, I don't listen to it. I don't like it.
Oh, yeah. He said that he's, all the time, you choose stay consciousness. You know what your eye seen, what your ears listening to, and things like that. So, but I don't know why he has many knowledge that the 10 million people on earth following him, and I don't know, but people say that he got the enlightenment, but I don't know. So I asked, in other religions, they also have some kind of enlightenment. Is it? I just want to know if he is a kind state of mind, which is our Buddhism may say that he's enlightened. Is it possible?
Is it possible for people outside our religion to be enlightened?
Yeah.
Yes, in a way, yes. Because Buddhism, like I said, nirvana, it's a state of understanding, understanding life.
Yeah.
Anyone can understand. But the way the word understand, it's actually very deep and complex in a way that it's very hard to explain. Because when you say enlightenment, it's not us understanding, but the soul. The point is the soul. And the soul, it's not us,
Yeah.
Like, why we learn this, for example, we're like, you teach us Dharma, we have to think again and again and again, even if we think we know it, but we actually don't. Well, we might know it, but the soul don't. So we have to think it again and again and again, so that the soul records information. And eventually, when it understands, you will know by yourself. It will come out like Ajahn, when he explains, even he says it, like, some Dhamma that he talked, it's not him. Like, it's his first time hearing about it as well. You get it? It's not him talking, it's the soul. It's
talking.
like, yeah.
Wow.
Basically, it's like that.
Wow.
So that's why, how do you know people is enlightened? For me, it's not really important. As long as like the person you ask, he can answer all your questions, I'm fine with that.
Wow.
What will happen if the soul has been collected the wrong information, the wrong perception, and then when it's created or it's mixed, and then became some knowledge which may be wrong. This can be the corrected may be wrong information also, right? Because of if we collected information by our soul in the past, maybe last, but if the soul collected wrong information, it could be processed in the wrong perception also on this life.
A lot of some ghosts like 2,000-3,000 years ago, they meditate. They believe that emptiness is the way. They just meditate. I'm empty, and they don't even know they die. And 3,000 years later, they come to him like, oh, hey, look, I've achieved emptiness. He doesn't even know he's dead. And John's like, you're dead. He's like, huh? Then he starts crying. You know? There's stuff like this. It's like a game, an exam. You know, if you fail, you come back. You keep learning again and again. That's just the way it is. You process wrong information, you have to, because it takes, you have to learn right and wrong. Eventually, the experiences will make your soul go higher. If you're wrong, maybe 2,000 reincarnations thinking the same thing before you finally pass this test and move on to the next and stuff like that. It's like that. 'Cause it's not us. But the most important thing Ajahn would say is, do you remember in your past life who you are? You don't, right?
Sure.
So basically, in a way, that our past life, it's not us. It's some personality that the soul create. And this lifetime, you only have one lifetime. He would teach us like this. So just do what's best. You think what's best for you. You know, live a normal, happy life and do what you want to do. Because when you die and you're born again, that's not you. Just as same as the past life, it's not us as well. So yeah, you have one life. Just do what you can or what you want to do.
It's not easy to balance
What do you mean?
between society, real life, simple life, you know, that's not religion life, when you have to work and communicate and friendship, yeah, and everything, and then you have to.
And then when you don't know to mix this well, and then you feel like, I don't want to work. It's make your mind like, I'm happy when I come to the temple. Don't want to work. And then you know, then you don't know how to balance.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think it different way. When you come to the temple, you think something, one thing. When you go to the normal life, you know, when it's, you know, when I work, for example, I need to kill one staff because he do wrong. And then my soul is beating me. You need to put more metta on her because of she has that. And I try to dig out my metta. But sometimes I couldn't find it. And then I, yes or no or yes, something like that. It's, you know, that's not easy to adapt Dhamma to the people life. I don't know, maybe I'm not yet at that point. I keep on thinking before doing something because of, I don't know, is it right or wrong? But according to Ajahn say, there is no right, there is no wrong. But the way you act, it should be. I got his teaching one day. He said that you can be kill the small one to keep the big one alive. So this is, I keep on my. For example, you may have to delete this stuff, so the organization still going on. It's like that. So I don't know. Sometimes to do it emotionally without thinking too much. But when I, you know, my consciousness or my อะไรนะวิภัชวาทที่พระอาจารย์บอก coming. So sometimes I do right, sometimes I do wrong also. Not easy. We understand that not easy at all. If you want to make a balance and combine between Dhamma and people in normal life.
You know, one basic Dhamma that Ajahn teaches everyone that I really like, it's to basically understand the way, this is what it is. He is like that. For example, he asks like, if a tree branch fall on top of your head. You're walking, and you thought, oh, do you get angry? No.
Sure.
You're like, oh, no. But if someone comes and hit you, you get angry.
Yeah.
Then he asks, like, why are you angry? But when the tree branch fell on you, you don't get angry. But when someone hits you, you get angry. Why? You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because
I'm thinking, yeah, because that is another person, and you start thinking like he's like, you know, mistreat you, and like you give the colors to the situation. Like you are the one. For example, my daughter, I have a daughter, she's 17 years old. And sometimes I say like, Diana, stop eating, start exercising, you know, because by that age, teenagers, they like eating like ice creams, whatever, yeah. And sports is what is must when you when you eat bad, yeah, bad. So sometimes when I say that to her, she's like, Mom, but how can you talk to me like that? You understand? Like you are like hurting me. And I'm like, why? Why am I hurting you? I just saying stop eating bad things and start exercising. I didn't say like you're fat or whatever. And I keep repeating to her, like if I say you are blondie, but you are black color of hair, would you get mad of me? No. So what do you count? I think bad about telling you not to eat something. If it is by saying nothing, what is it? I just a moment. I cannot explain what as I mean. I mean, like, what is the point to get mad of saying you are blondie when you are not blondie? Yeah. By saying stop eating bad things, not saying you are fat. Like, you are not blondie, not blondie. You did not feel bad about me? No. So what is happening when I'm saying about the food? And she was like, okay, but anyway, you understand? But anyway, don't tell me that. Like, because you are the one who count yourself fat. Because you know what I'm talking about, right? Right. So it's the same thing. Like, we just give colors to the situations. Like,
I give one example now. I live with my nephew. I have no kid. My nephew is about 1 year younger than you. He's just, he's studying in the college. Every time he come back home, he eat, and then he put the dish on that. And I come back from work, maybe 10 o'clock,
sure.
watching. Then, very often, I never empty the garbage can. He just behave normally like that. And I get mad. I know that I get mad. I try. Should I talk? But if should I talk, I know myself. I would talk very badly. And then the relationship which are very fragile between auntie and nephew will break out. So I keep quiet. The more I keep quiet, the mind speaking loudly. Stupid man. I talk with myself every time that I have to washing the dish. And every time when I saw him walking, I keep talking to myself. I don't speak out, but it's stupid boy. And then because of Ajahn speaking like this, so I say, okay, when you give the food to the dog,
yeah,
it doesn't clean even. They even cheat in front of your house. They didn't clean the dish.
Yeah.
They just eat and behave naturally. But you don't feel angry.
And you love it.
And why is it it's our beloved one, our nephew. Why you don't think the same? So I try to think that it doesn't work. But it's calmed me down a little bit. And I keep on thinking every day. And I look in my mind every time I wash the dish. Moreover, he did it very clever. Sometimes I eat and I soak the dish into the sink. And he also eating. Somehow, he washed only his dish. And he left
Yours.
He live in my house. I pay him to go to school. Everything from his to his body is my money. Can you imagine? I try to. I don't want to cry, I just thinking about, what should I talk to this boy to have a common sense. When he grow up and he need to stay in the society, who's gonna accept him if he behave like that? You see?
Ivan,
Yes.
if you just come to him and just ask him and explain to him, just like,
Oh yes.
may I ask you
When
to
I think
just
one day,
talk to him?
When there is no fire in my heart.
Yeah,
I
in
would
calm
now. Yes.
feelings.
When no more fire here, I will talk with him nicely.
Maybe
What do you
he
think?
doesn't
Because I
even.
think you know that boy. In that age, no? In which corner I should talk to let him understand?
Everyone's different, If he doesn't listen, there's nothing you can really do. If you're gonna talk about like Ajah's teaching, the way you talk about the dog, when a dog eats, when it doesn't clean its dish, why don't we get angry?
Yeah.
The concept would be like, because you understand it's the nature of the dog. If you also understand, it's the nature of the boy to be like that, there's nothing you can do about it, you will feel better. Because
Sure.
you have to understand the whole world, Ajahn said, we suffer, and not the physical pain, but the mental pain. We suffer because we don't understand that's the nature of things.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Yeah. Why is he talking bad to me? Can we understand that that's his nature? He's like that. But because we fail to understand his nature, we fail to understand the boy's nature, just like how we understand the dog's nature. We get angry, we get sad, it's us. It doesn't mean that we should not talk to him, we should not teach him. No, those things you do as your duty as a mother, you should do it. Mm-hmm. But when he teaches, he means for our mind. How we clear our mind is we have to understand, that's the nature of the boy. That the same as a dog, that's his nature, it's like that. Same as when a tree branch fell on our head. Why don't we get angry at that? Because that's the nature, because you understand it. But when someone hit you, no, you don't understand his nature. Yeah. You get angry. So this is what Buddhism, like for civilians, that he try to teach, just understand that that's their nature. He's like that. Stuff like that, yeah.
Sure. You're right.
Okay. After my fire in the heart is done, I will talk with him. And I will give you the progress. What is his answer?
Update. You will update, yeah. About your nephew.
Yes.
Cut his money.
Two of them. Oh my God. No, when I saw him, how come he has this question since the age of 14, 15?
Yeah.
The boy is still, I don't know, we never talk.
But interesting how it works. So, like last time we were sitting all people here, and I was looking at him like, interesting guy. Sorry for saying that. And I was like, I was watching.
The fact
because,
that we talk right here, right now, it means in the past life we've met before and we've talked.
Sure. Yeah. And there is one more like strange for me, like my daughter, she's just normal teenager from Ukraine. We used to live in Georgia and different countries, and it's the first country when I go to temples here in Thailand. She was here with me 4 years ago for 1.5 years, but we didn't go to temples. So now I started coming to the temples, and I was like texting her and give her the photos and show her like, look at this, I go to temple. And she was like, wow, mom, that's so nice. I was like, seriously? You think it's nice? She said, yes. I was like, why? I don't know, but that's nice. I'm very happy for you. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even expect like her to like it. I don't know, because she's too far from that, and I'm just stepping in. So for me, that's actually that's strange. But as you say, probably in past lives, supposed to be something like connected to Buddhism, yeah, and me and all of you
yeah
and us, yeah.
น้ามาทันแล้วตอนน้าจากคนที่เป็นรัสเซียไหมที่เป็นคนชื่อบริส
Boris no
ถ้าเป็นกล้ามใหญ่
เคยมีเหรอ
มี
มาเหรอ
ตอนนั้นผมไม่รู้ at first I thought you were the same group. There was like these two Russian guy that came here and I talked like this. I thought they were your friends at first. Like, this guy's Boris. He's like very big. He works as a as a guard in Pattaya pub, like in a Russian pub. But he
I don't
comes
know.
here long ago. But I've not seen him for like Boris, something like that.
Is Russian?
Привет.
Привет. He said привет.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. In the temple, привет.
There is in Bajjan there is some guy which is practicing meditation and he keep on communicating with Prajan Suchat and he's quite like coming from Russia to just for staying in the temple, but I don't know his name. But the guy who come here, yes, the one who come up to here is must be something interesting.
If you have any more questions, you can ask him. He's out from the bathroom now. Like, ask him about everything, you know, like not just Buddhism. He knows so much, like politics, science, technology. He knows all these things.
Yeah. He know everything.
He knows.
Yeah.
No borders. This guy.
Because the thing is, you know, like you have been reincarnated trillions of times.
He read
He know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just ask. It's coming up like
From the soul.
Yes, from the soul. Except sometimes I don't want to know because after you know.
Like me, I like sci-fi things. I ask him like, oh, in the age where humans they advance to the stars, and he would tell like stories how they fight and you know stuff like that. Star Wars thing. You know, I like it. It's my thing. Because he said, you know, we have been reincarnated trillions of times, so we have been in different ages, and it's like a cycle. Human, they evolve, they go to space. Eventually, there's like a war, and it goes back down, Stone Age, and up and down. I like that. And so I asked him these
It's
things.
a circle.
Yeah.
It's a circle.
I even asked him about the Ukrainian-Russian war, like what's happening, why is it this going on, stuff like that.
I would love to listen to him about this war, about
Yes,
how.
I don't ask him because of he listened too much to Mr. Sontilin Thongkun, which is bought by the Chinese and the Russians.
He said that the war, it's being prolonged on purpose, both by America and Russia. They want this war to last long.
Of course. Of course,
Because
that's
they want
obvious.
to eat also. They want to eat the Ukrainian because
A lot of money, abortion.
I really feel bad for the
They
Ukrainians. They're dying for nothing. Really.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But
Even
however,
yesterday, Uman was just heated again, and many people died. It's like.
But why the Russian doesn't want to stop?
He said that they're doing something with the economy. Them, China, BRICS, they're pushing out the American currency. The dollar.
That it everybody knows. But they could not do without the war, right?
Of course
You
cannot.
need to
Yeah.
get the war to making
Yeah, at first I was like,
mechanism to
Ajahn,
make this happen.
Russian losing to Ukraine, it's everywhere in the news. They cannot conquer Ukraine. They say everyone say 3 days they can get Ukraine. Well, 6 months now. What's happening? He looked at me. Because you're think like this, that's why you'll never be a president. Because he said it's not about good or bad guy, but he said Putin, he's a very, very smart guy. He knows what he's doing, and he has a plan. Same for America. Ukraine is like it's chess piece. Russia, they get to test their weapons on this. And they don't care that their people are dying. They have their game, politics, and it's very
Sure,
deep
everything
things.
is organized. Even Ukraine, it's like, you know, the guy who is the president is. You're recording, yeah? No, I don't talk about
You cannot go
because
home.
tomorrow everything in Facebook about me, Ukrainian, talking about my president, bad things. No, sorry, I keep quiet.
The SBU, I read about it.
Yesterday, my husband, he told me, "Oh, Yumi, come to France before come to France on June or July before everybody will get bombed here." I say, "How? Who will bomb in France? Putin." He told me the Putin will bomb in France on this summer. I say, "Crazy? Is it real?" Just got some news. I don't know whether it's real or not real. But he said that Putin he get mad. Maybe he will bomb France. Say that too.
Ajahn said that there won't be World War III. They're just playing game for politics, money, and stuff.
But the problem is, Ukrainian will be never. I don't know how long does it take to get back to normal life there. And you know, like we are from Ukraine, and there is no, let's say, chance to go back and just stay in the country. Like you have no house. Like it's formally there, literally, but you cannot stay there because of
You will
what?
not get peaceful mind or peaceful life.
Like,
Stay at
yeah,
home,
you have to
hear
think
the
where to move there.
Yes. That is so.
And that's really a sad thing. Fate.
Да. But you will learn Thai soon. And next time I come to Thailand, she's with you, and she will translate everything to me in Ukrainian.
I have a friend, American guy. When we speak about the religion, he told me, "Oh yes, okay, it's a way about not to do a bad thing, do a good thing, and clean your mind, like basic that we have learned from another temple or from the book. And then about to get out from samsara, to reach the state of mind, like nirvana." So he asked me one question, which I could not explain. He said that, if you speak whatever you speak, I understand. But what is the purpose? If this life you are human, and then next life you became a dog. So the dog have a happy life as the dog life. So what is problem? And when you are the dog, then you will be the dog. You don't remember in the past life that you used to be the human. So you don't get suffering because of you don't know. So why you want to reach the nirvana and stop samsara? I have no word. It's true. Same way as I said. Really.
But what is the point? What is the point to be in a couple? I mean, what is the point to have children?
It's in your program. It's like, why do you eat? You know, it's the soul. It's a program, you know. Your job, I told you, protect the body, make babies so that more soul can come in. It's a program that's been ingrained to us. It's deep inside. It's not us. It's the soul that creates these emotions, all of it. That's the nature of things. Yeah.
To protect your body, which is you accumulate it. Became this. So this is something to keep พันอย่างเป็นโปรแกรมที่มันก็เหมือนเส้นอะไร the dog they have their period make baby same than us.
What is
We are part
samadhi?
of nature.
What is samadhi? Do you have the word samadhi.
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 Samadhi is meditation or concentration, right?
Just concentration, right?
But in Buddhism, the concentration, they have like two words, sati and sampajanya. Sati, it's like you let's say you are cooking. You leave, like you're boiling spaghetti noodles. You leave the fire on. You go to something, then you forget about it. Then suddenly you remember, oh, the fire is still on. That's called sati. Sampajanya, it's something like you focus on it and you carry on. So say when you meditate, you're focusing on the breath. You keep that state of focusing.
I understand.
So it's these two things mixed together in Buddhism.
When you suddenly remember and when you keep remembering.
You keep remembering. We come back. You forget. Oh, sati. You remember.
Yeah.
It's not you remembering. It's automatic.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm thinking maybe I have one more question.
Ajahn said that humans, this body, he calls it like the thing we're using, whether it be animal or body, he calls it like something like a machine.
Avatar.
Or you can call it, say, he compares it to a phone. An animal, let's say it's like, Nokia, the old Nokia, just calling and call.
Yeah,
But for us, we're like an iPhone.
Like simple version.
So since we're iPhone, we have apps, we have digital, we have a more advanced form of phone. So he said, how do you want to use this phone? If you use it just like call like a Nokia, then he said you're stupid. So it's comparing it to like an animal. If we live our life like, be careful of like things that can hurt us, have sex basically with babies. When you're hungry, go eat. Live just like an animal. That it's a waste of potential as a human, similar to a Nokia phone. So what's different about it is we can know what is right or wrong. Even if right or wrong, it doesn't exist, but we know that like giving to others, helping others, or thinking, because animals, they don't think in a way that we do. They just do whatever they want to do. But first, you want to be rich, but we know that, hey, we shouldn't steal from someone, because if we steal from him, he's not going to feel happy. And we don't like getting stolen as well, so we won't do that to someone else. So this is what makes us different from animal.
Yeah.
The point of us.
Is it possible to be rich? Like, you understand what I mean? To balance of being rich, making money, and being like, how do you call it? Enlightened? Like, live. Like, how to explain? Just let me think. There is a word for that, but I cannot get. What I mean like to live spiritual life and material life. You understand what I mean? That one which is with money and whatever is.
You can, but if you want like enlightenment like him, that's not possible, because you have to let go of everything. Your children, your house, your money. You have to be like
concentrated on that thing.
In the form of a monk, basically. Female monk, male monk doesn't matter. But why would be a monk? Because if you're a monk, you're wearing this robe. There's something we have. It's like a barrier, a wall. Keeping yourself in this room, making us different from other people. Because if you're outside, you will follow your emotions. It's different from here. But if we're talking about like a balanced spiritual, like living a way of life that you understand things, a basic karma, it's possible. It's not wrong to be rich and spiritual. Because you use the Dhamma to help you live in life. Like, let's say you're doing business, but you're so depressed. Oh, this, there's economic problem, stuff like that. So the Dhamma, you use it to make your heart like feel better. But in terms of like knowledge, like how do we make money, that's a different thing. But he's actually very good at making money. he started from like a poor family before he was a monk. Then he made like, I don't know, like 1,000 million. I don't know, where is it? Hundreds of millions, thousands of millions of baht. And
Trillions, billions.
depends, but so you can actually ask him not just Dharma, like business, how to make money, stuff. He knows all these things.
Yeah.
He's very like bigger. He knows a lot of
Complete.
it. His life is so amazing. He's like MotoGP. He races in Asia. He's been a mafia before. He told.
He looks like. Don't
Yeah,
show it to him. He looks like
he has ordered like
the different potentials.
assassinations before and people before he's a monk. Like many stories. He has lived like many parts of life. So that experiences he uses it to teach us. You know, he said that a lot of people misunderstand Dhamma. If you're like a monk since you were like young, I don't know what they call in English, like 6-7-year-old.
Yeah.
He said you won't know much about Dhamma because Dhamma it's not just a book, but it's a way of life. You have to live life in the world first and use your experiences to learn Dhamma from it. It's not just about being a monk when you read the book, meditate, nirvana. It's not like that.
Sure. Nice.
Yeah, she understands more. You know, I just keep on thinking, how can I explain her?
Now,
I
now I
listening to
understand
him
more.
every day in the morning, and even in the past, sitting there in the dark, and he teach Dhamma. That was before he make live on Facebook. You know, I listening to him since that time, and it's very hard to find him because of on that time he's not yet on Facebook. When I want to listen to him, create Dhammaka, and then every clip is very dark. Sitting there, and he speaks like. But now it's like, you know, for my vision, I think everything on earth is have two-way paralyzed. If you going too much that way, your mind will start creating the opposite side. It's always like that. So that's why we need to go in the middle. Because if you go too much that way, your mind will start, you know, return like they try to make a balance between our mind. So that's why you could not go like that. For example, for Ajahn, and because of his teaching, I understand him. Because of when I saw him in that clip, many clip, you know, he's sitting like that, and he's speaking very calm, very nicely. And then one day he's like, it's like he don't face himself anymore. He became like freedom. But before he's like that, you know.
He taught us monks. He said, life in Buddhism, it's about going against your emotion, and that includes meditation. If you meditate too much, eventually you're gonna reach a point like, oh, I don't want to talk to anyone anymore. They're so annoying. I don't want to live this life. And he said, eventually you're gonna go into a form of depression, and that's not balance. But if you meditate too much, that's a disadvantage of it. If you reach that point, he said, what you must do is like stop meditating for a bit, go talk to people, go to parties, do things. You have to balance it. Yeah, don't like too much of these things. You have to find balance. It's really important. Not meditating 24/7. No, it's not like that.
Mm-hmm. And to stay in balance is very difficult. Like very difficult.
Sure, I know.
That is it.
What I'm trying to do now.
Going to the party. Let's go to the hop this evening.
Yeah, up to the temple. Yeah.
Yeah. But we are not enjoying anymore. Because I'm at the age of nothing make me feel happy except of talking
Ajahn
about
said
this.
that he wanted you to learn Thai because he said if you understand Thai, not just the basic Thai, when you reach a point, the Tama Thai he's talking about, you'll understand a lot more than what you are now. That's why he says he wants you to learn it like that. A lot of his teaching, you know, you have to, even if it's something you think you know it, but you have to listen to it again and again and again.
Sure, yeah.
Eventually you're gonna be, oh, I understand something new. Even you're listening to the same clip, the same video, but you understand more.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
The same with the books, you know, sometimes you just read and I understand. Then several times you read, and then suddenly, oh my gosh, it's about this, not about that. Yeah, it works like that.
Different
Sure.
new perception we have.
Even in English, when you don't know single word, it can change all the topics, you know, like all the topic, like all the speech.
I get it.
You think you understand, but you don't understand until you know it perfectly. Yeah, I know, because many times it happened to me before. I was like, I don't count my English good. It's just okay. Like, I can communicate, but I would love to learn it to the native speaker level. Yeah. So before, when I thought I know English, like I was listening to somebody and then I translate, and then I talk to somebody and he said like, he didn't say that. I was like, what? He said, no, he said this, and it means, I was like, oh my gosh, like one single word can change everything. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why it's very important, yeah, to know language of the country where you stay in. Sure. So Thai language, especially Thai language.
Even we are Thai, we listen to the Dharma in Thai language. Not mean that we fully understand, and different monk, different things. So that's why I learn a lot. I read a lot. I listen to the monk a lot up to this age. Then I listen to him. Then I never go anywhere.
Same.
So this is, so that's why I want the other to understand the same. I have some friends. Ajahn Dima is in Ukraine. I told you. I tell him one time. He said that the monk is not yet fully understood, and then just going that, and when you have problem also, then the understanding of the Dharma is not deep enough. He's fly, but he's fly already. So, and he is the monk. Yes, he is studying. He's keep on listening. I mean, him. But sometimes we keep communicating. Also, sharing with me what he thought about, what he think about. But this conversation is reflect the teaching of Ajahn, which is new vision for him for sure. Maybe if you have a record, I would like to listen, and then I will cut on the main topic that we speak about at the beginning. You see, when Ajahn talk, I will share with him. Are you allowed? Are you allowed? I will make the clip only the voice
ตัดของอาจารย์ตัดได้
conversation
จริงเหมือนที่
No, you speak in English. You don't understand. I mean, I have the mom in Ukraine. He's ordained in Chiang Rai, and he stayed in Thailand for 7 years. Now he go back to Ukraine.
He's a Ukrainian monk.
Ukrainian monk.
But he speaks Thai? No.
No.
He speaks English.
He speaks English.
Okay.
Yes,
So
English
our
class.
topic, you mean?
Yes, our topic.
Okay.
I want to share with you because I keep communicating with him all the time.
Да не посольство.
No, you don't understand what I mean.
I understand the story, but what do you want me to do?
She wants you to allow her to
This.
take the part of the video.
Yes. And then this video, you made it. And then I will cut only the topic that we talked in the beginning about why samsara is state of mind, the soul program, whatever. Is it our Ajahn thought about that? I want to transmit to him this kind of knowledge. Because of when I come here, I take the photo, I send to him. And he said, wow, where is that? He said that, please, can you share me by make live on this temple that you have been? So I say, yes, Ajahn, I will do. Then I send for him only photo. So I just want him to get the chance to listen to Dhamma that you talk to. I ask your permission if you finish that
ก็
video.
ขอคลิปไปส่งให้พระรูปอื่นได้ไหมพี่ชาป้าเขาจะเอาคลิปเนี่ยส่งให้พระที่เป็นชาวยูเครน
ว่าตอนนี้คนไทย
ไลฟ์เหรอไลฟ์
Is this about live in
TikTok.
Facebook?
People's watching it right now.
Actually, there is a recorder. After you finish live, it will be recorded.
มันบัน
Yeah,
ทึกใช่ไหม
yeah. You can check it.
แล้วก็แอดเฟซของพี่ชาเดี๋ยวท่านส่งให้
เอาเฟซท่านด้วย
So people watch it. Oh my gosh.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Everybody,
record.
I didn't know that you record. I
Oh,
play
is
like
it
a
possible
monkey.
to get this
Don't
sign
do
you
that.
have on the phone of your sign of
Oh,
your
yes,
school?
Yes. You want?
Yeah,
Oh,
I would love to.
A bit superstition thing. These stickers, once Akan does the magic thing, it's really good.
Nice, perfect. So yeah, I will get. Thanks a lot for the conversation. Seriously, it was really nice, and I hope I will have a chance to come again and to talk again about a lot of things. I will think about the questions. Okay. Thanks a lot.
that is really the conversation at the beginning because of your vision is fresh and stretched like a foreigner's vision, which is
ถ้ามาหาฝากว่าให้ถามว่าคุณคิดอย่างไรกับธรรมชาติสอนธรรมชาติที่เรียกว่าธรรมะ
What?
oh there is somebody asking because of they listen to ธรรมชาติสอนธรรมชาติ
ไม่
ที่
เข้า
เรีย
ใจ
กว่าธรรมะ
ซึ่งภาษาไทยผมก็ไม่แบบลึกขนาดนั้นก็จะใส่พื้นฐาน I don't have a deep understanding of Thai too. I use basic Thai as well. Yeah. I cannot read or write Thai yet.
Really?
Yeah, I can just
You just okay.
Whether your parents is Thai or Thai
But he grew up not in Thai.
environment in foreigners here.
But you speak perfect English, and that's nice actually because you're the one who can communicate with the foreigners.
It's actually a good chance that I met you guys because I have not spoken English for 2 years now. My tongue is getting hard.
Yeah.
It's not
you
flowing
need to
anymore.
practice, yes. Oh, it's very good. Maybe one time I invited him sit down and we asked the question. If you could not answer, you call ma.
Yeah.
It would be a very good idea.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Yes. So it's then I invited you to Pattaya. After I will set up everything, then you just sit and we will ask, but we will ask the question in advance.
Can we find you at your page in Facebook?
I have Facebook. I don't really use it that much, but yeah, I have
But
Facebook.
it's actually very nice that you speak English because we can organize many things.
Yeah.
Like
So
for
that's
Ukraine,
nice.
for different
Yes,
people who speak English, that's actually
We
to
have
learn Buddhism. Wow,
of
perfect.
Buddhists
Yeah.
Ukraine that really during the war, the people have no, they were suffering. They don't know what to lay up their mind. Made up their
Yeah.
mind. It's a lot.
You can help. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can help.
You can ask questions and I do a translation. That's fine as well.
Nice. Yeah.
Can you go and ask
Yeah.
in the name of the nations be suffering because of that? How can we make up our mind to stay on that environment and don't suffer too much?
Yeah, sure. I would love to.
But
Видишь, Украина изначально было языческое, поэтому все равно
I will call you Ajahn Riu. What is your phone number?
осталось, а язычество
Bunya Palang Island.
жизни, если взять, да, принципов, это
da природа, солнце, воздух, гости, песни, вселенная.
มุมมองของสงครามเนี่ยเป็นเก่ง
ผมรู้ที่ไลฟ์นะคุยได้จริงๆนะ
เราคุยเล่นอยู่เป็นเรื่องจริงเลยอาจารย์
They're asking about the Ukrainian war. I'm like, I didn't know it was live when I talked about that. It's not something we should say.
Thanks God I didn't say anything.
It's something that we just nobody knows in real. We just
Yeah, sure. We just talk.
นี่ครับฟังนะ
เอาไว้แค่นี้แหละ
ผมมันไลฟ์
นึกว่าถ่ายเล่นเอาจริงๆไม่คิดว่าไลฟ์
วิดีโอเลย
Yes, it's weird. You make live there.
อะไร
Facebook, your
ติ๊ก
Facebook.
ต็อกติ๊กต็อก
TikTok.
ใช่
Web? Oh my god.
TikTok, it's easier.
download.
TikTok's easier to get views than YouTube for some reason. People just
It's
easier than Facebook.
Oh yes. I didn't play TikTok. I don't know. However, so
Open the
great.
ขอบคุณครับขอบคุณครับ
Thank you very much, bro. Yeah.
and for the operators.
if you want to like
Okay.
it's very fast genre.